Hello everyone, it's KaloaGames here today, and finally we are back with another speed build after a long time of me not having a computer. We're finally back, and we're starting with this really cozy house. For this house I took inspiration from the picture appearing on screen right now. I found it on Pintrest, and well, I actually found another one that I will put up right now that I also took inspiration from. Both have like the similar dark roofs with a really white or light paint outside, so I took inspiration from that, and of course from the roof. The roof is kinda what made me want to do this whole video, so I think it's pretty cool. It took me a while to figure it out, especially since I hadn't opened The Sims in at least like 4 months. So it took me a while to remember how roofs work and how I could make it work, and we're not seeing that right now. Like, you just saw me build it really fast because I practiced a lot beforehand. This lot has something weird. I'm not sure if it's just this lot or a general bug in the game. Where after building everything and then I went back to the world manager? Is that the name? I forgot the name. Well, I went back to the world view, and when I logged back into the house, into the build, it wouldn't let me place walls at all or move walls. I imagine this has to do with the different foundations I used and maybe the terrain editing tools. I'm not sure. So that was not very fun to walk around, so I had to rebuild the whole house because there were some things that were not great when I first built it. The good thing is that I did it way faster and it looks way nicer on this video, and it looks like I actually know what I'm doing. Also, like, that issue affected me again afterwards. Like, after I finished building this and if doing the whole, I did the whole floor plan before logging off or doing anything outside the lot again, just in case it wouldn't let me place walls. And that was great because it actually didn't let me place walls again. So the floor plan, as I had it set, I had to work with it and just keep going with my initial idea, which wasn't the best idea, but in the end I really like how it turned out. You will see here in the upstairs I wanted to do an open staircase because I just think they look so nice, and even if they take up a lot of space, I wanted it to feel more open and have more flow, since the house already looks kinda old. I just wanted it to flow better. So basically, as you see it now, that's the floor plan we go for. That diagonal, I think it works out pretty well. It kinda makes 2 spaces downstairs. The space, like that, the one we're looking at right now, the one in front of the front door, was kind of tricky to furnish because it's like kinda open, but also like a hallway. So I basically did minimal furniture there. And here, unlike most of my builds, I started the landscaping quite early. It doesn't stay like this. I showed the build to my brother, and he actually suggested some cool stuff that you will see later, like making the lower terrace wrap around one of the sides, so there's not just like a green slope with nothing on it on one side. And we actually place some trees there, but you will see that in the cinematics. I don't actually have footage of that. Okay, so now we're moving on to furnishing. So this is the kitchen. The kitchen is pretty spacious, but also kind of an awkward shape. Like, it's nothing too difficult to work with, but it's kind of a weird kitchen. I wanted to place a bigger table there, but it would look too cramped. And actually, in the final version of the build, I end up changing the table because I actually bought the Moschino stuff pack and the Tiny Living stuff pack, like, after starting this build. So in the cinematics you will see like some little changes. And yeah, as you can see, this is the part I was saying I kinda struggled with. Like, I end up making it work because it's just pretty straightforward. I just put a little TV and a couple chairs and that's it. But that door in the corner is actually a toilet room. I wanted to make it like a half bathroom with a toilet and a sink, but I couldn't make the sink fit properly with the Sims being able to use it, so it had to be just the toilet, and the Sims have to wash their hands on the kitchen sink, which I think it's still alright. It's better than your Sims having to go upstairs every time. That's something I always make sure to put in my builds, like at least a toilet in every floor of the build if I can, because it makes gameplay so much easier. I always try to focus on my houses being functional for gameplay. I actually played with this house like 10 hours yesterday. It's pretty fun to play with. As you can see, I used that tree wallpaper. I always gravitate towards using it because I really like how it looks, even though it's a little out there. But when I decided to use that wallpaper, I decided this was gonna be like an outdoorsy sim that was gonna live here, and it also makes sense with all the landscaping inside. Like, if you have that many plants, you probably like them at least a little bit. So yeah, that was my thought process. So as you can see, I'll just start placing more and more plants as we go. We actually add some planters on the outside, but we will see that later on in the video. I'm just finishing up the kitchen. Since the kitchen is one of the things I made first, right now I don't decorate it that much, but afterwards off camera I did place some decorations to make it look more real, like more lived in. Yeah, like that's how the little room downstairs ends up being. It's very simple. I just decided to go with 2 chairs since this house it's not that small, but with the space we had and with the floor plan I did, it can only fit 2 Sims. So yeah, so I think just 2 armchairs downstairs looks good, and it doesn't clutter up too much the space, and it still feels like there's space. As you can see, there's a little insert in the back there. I just wanted to have a little outdoor area. I end up placing a barbecue. Here I'm struggling with the wall building thing because I wanted to place a fence there, but since I can't build walls, it doesn't let me. So I end up doing something a little bit different. I end up exposing more the foundation, which also I feel like makes the house make more sense instead of just being in a slope, in a weird slope. And yeah, I also wanted to place some walls there. I couldn't. That space, that little room for the stairs, I know it's not the most functional room and it's kind of a waste of space, but I thought it was really nice to have the space open above, and also to have, I cluttered a lot under the stairs, which I think it makes sense for such a small house which doesn't have a lot of storage. And also in the final version, after playing with the house for a bit, I end up moving the what's it called, the easel. I end up moving the easel just touching the stairs, so it's actually usable and you can paint there, so ends up making the space a little bit more, it makes more sense. And upstairs, since I made the layout before knowing exactly what I wanted to do with every space, it took me a little bit to figure out how to make it work. So we just placed a little office area, a little office nook. I thought about using the Murphy bed, but I don't think it's worth it in this build, so we go for a full bed. So as you can see, the house ends up being like the dormitory ends up being like a loft kinda, but it just goes to the stairs room, so it's like a very closed off loft. And since I made such big spaces here, I was able to do a very big and luxurious closet, which I really enjoy, since I usually don't do these kinds of stuff, but I think it looks really nice and works very well. Also, depending on what your sim is, you could change that room to make more sense for you. We end up changing the bed since that just looked kinda old and not really. I mean, the whole vibe of this house, it's kind of like an old house that got renewed or renovated, and the sim that lives here is kinda young, but some stuff still looks kinda old and with the style of the house. For this house, actually, I made a a couple of Sims that live here. I will share them on the gallery too, as well as this build. Of course, my builds are always in the gallery in case you wanna check them out. Yeah, we're almost done. We end up adding another little corner chair there, and then more and more plants because of course this is like an outdoor lover sim. A little frame for photos of family and friends that in the final version actually has photos of the two sims that I made to live here, and with the ones I have been playing. Well, all of yesterday and some today. We're almost done with the build. Remember, the build is on the gallery under KaloaGames. I hope you really enjoy it. Let me know what you like the most. Oh yeah, this is a little patio area. Like, it's not a big yard. It's something really small, really quaint, but has some planters for you to plant. It has a grill. It has a couch. It used to have the outdoor bins, but in the final version I moved it to be closer to the kitchen so it wasn't annoying in gameplay. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really like it. Let me know about any comments or suggestions for future builds. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!